Yogi, the assist to turnover ratio as a team has been very strong the last several games, and certainly was again tonight. What's been the key to that?
Coach telling us that if we get more than a certain number of turnovers, we have to run 17s. We don't want to run those 17s, so. I mean, Coach has just been telling us, for us to be a great team and for us to be able to win, we can't turn the ball over and have other teams scoring off our turnovers. Because, one night we could be cold, not everything's going for us, and, if we're giving up those turnovers, it's going to be hard for us to win. So we've just been focusing more on taking care of the ball, taking more pride in the ball and what we do with it.
What exactly are 17s?
Like sideline to sideline. So you got to run
times.
1, 2, 3 in 65 seconds. And I think one time we ran 2, we balled out of 1, but we had 3 at one point in one practice. So it was a tough day.
Rick? You guys have made it 32 of 64 threes the last 2 games, 50%. Has it just been better passing, spacing, just hot nights? How do you explain it?
I'd say, we're moving the ball. We're making a simple play. We're finding shooters. With that movement, guys are getting open a little better, and we're just knocking them down. So I'd say that's probably the biggest culprit.
This is the 7th straight team you all have held to under 1 point per possession in Big Ten play. I mean, what has been different, Collin, defensively for you? I know you've talked about the mentality, but is there anything else that you guys have been doing differently?
Along with mentality is also experience. The young guys are really stepping up and being like sponges and absorbing our concepts and really studying extra film. So if you learn concepts and people's tendencies, it's easier to get stops because you know what they're doing before they do it. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing, is just getting extra film. It's not so much physical, because we have the physical. We all work hard all the time. It's just a matter of being there and being in the right spot at the right time.
And I'd add to that, I'd say just the scouting, especially getting into the Big Ten, our coach, especially Coach Judd today, he does a good job scouting Northwestern. They run some great action, and we really just, did a phenomenal job. Even the young guys just really going through that and, defending that well.
How big have OG and Jawan been in terms of helping the defensive,
Extremely big. I mean, they're very versatile. When they come in, they can guard multiple positions, allow us to switch sometimes, and it just lets our defense flow more. They're very athletic, very, very versatile, and they're not positional defensive guys that we have to hide when we sub in. So it's really nice.
Go ahead.
Max, I think I saw a stat. You made 11 threes in your in your time in Michigan, and you've already made more than that here just so far this season. So how does having so many 3-point shooters around you help you have space and give you more room to shoot, sort of?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of just the great ball movement, like we were saying, getting open looks. I really worked on my shot over the summer with the coaches too, and I think it's a combination of that, starting to pay off. I'm getting comfortable in the system. Everyone's sharing the ball really well, and it's making it a lot easier.
I guess, Max, you talked about sharing the ball. You talked about finding shooters. How important has Yogi been just in kind of leading that effort? I mean, obviously at the offensive end of the floor, but maybe it also feels like just communicating where guys are in the defensive end too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he gets a pretty good amount of assists. I don't know if you guys have heard, but he always finds that open man. He does a great job, leading the charge and swinging it to the right person, and then they make the right play too. So yeah, it's just awesome.
Bob?
Guys, Collin touched on this a little bit about OG specifically. I know he didn't have a big game tonight, but what has he brought and how has he made the transition successfully from high school to Indiana?
Well, I think OG's awareness, you could say, has gone up tremendously. And that's what we talk about a lot, is on the court and being aware of, what you need to do offensively, what you need to do defensively. And I think that skyrocketed for OG. Definitely was a quicker turnaround than I feel like people thought, but I think that's the process of ourselves and the coaches being on OG because we knew his potential. A guy with a 7'6" wingspan can jump out the gym. I mean, we saw his potential as being as high as it can be, and I felt like OG has definitely stepped up in that way for us.
What's just kind of been behind the way you guys have started games, especially here the last three? I think you've had 20-point halftime leads on average. What's kind of been the key to starting games the way you have and kind of pulling it early?
Going back, I mean, it's all mindset. You got to come in being aggressive. The Big Ten's a tough league. Anybody can win out any given night, and if you don't come ready to play, you're going to get beat. So you really have to come in with the right mindset and get guys ready and get yourself ready and take people with you.
Yeah, and Coach Crean does a great job of keeping us ready. You know, with especially Northwestern coming off that tough loss at Maryland, you know they were going to come in here and really, you know, bring something extra. And you know, I think we did a really good job handling that. You know, showing that we're, you know, on a mission too, and we're working for something as well.
Go ahead.
Max, I know you had a lot of expectations coming here, but how have they sort of progressed as the season has started, and what do you think you have done with this new roster and this new team?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's tough to say. It's obviously, you know, the expectations. You know, I knew this was going to be a good team. I knew there was a lot of talent. You know, I knew I enjoyed, you know, being with the guys, and the chemistry was going to translate on the court. You know, I think, you know, my expectations were just to, you know, be as good as we can be, and you know, with this little streak we got going, I think it's starting to show. Things are coming together, and you know, it's a lot of fun.
Do you feel like you finally reached a comfortable place in the system and what Tom sort of wants you to do with the guys?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's, you know, it's definitely not hard too with the guys. You know, they make it so easy, the coaches and everything. You know, making sure everyone's, you know, feeling comfortable and knowing what they're doing. And yeah, I think it's, I'd say so. Yeah.
Yogi, you said a few weeks ago against Ohio State was some of the most fun you'd had here. You kind of had a lot of fun since. But how's that sort of looseness translated as far as confidence and the balance that this team's had?
Yeah, I feel like on the court we have a lot of confidence, and you know, especially I think we have a lot of confidence defensively. You know, this game, Coach Justin prepared us well with the scouting of Northwestern, what they wanted to do, their tendencies. I felt like we carried that onto the court. So, you know, for us to play, you could say loose out there, you know, it's us getting down and getting stops. You know, I think even as a team, we probably don't even think this is our best defensive game. Probably one of our worst, not one of our worst, but you know, we definitely had stretches in there where we know we can be better. And I feel like we're gonna get to the film and watch it, and we can be better. And you know, just try and find different ways, because you know, we're definitely gonna need that defensive mindset to win on the road.
Okay, guys. Thanks.